You're listening to the Smarter Moms Online Podcast, episode number 9.
Welcome to the Smarter Moms Online Podcast, where you learn how to increase your revenue and your reputation in your online business. I'm your host, Ashlyn Tengon, and if you're ready to work smarter and not harder, then let's get started.
Why, hello, and Happy New Year! In today's episode, we're discussing all the myths you can stop believing about Posh Ambassadors. So last week, I talked about why more followers don't equate to more sales, and my answer was pretty short and to the point. And if you want to listen to that episode, it's episode number 8 where I answered listener Q&As. So in today's episode, I dive even deeper into why those followers don't really matter. So, if you're a brand new seller on Poshmark who's trying to achieve the status of Posh Ambassador, or if you've already achieved Posh Ambassador status and you're waiting for that email from Poshmark, then this episode is for you. I am officially giving you permission to stop believing these myths about Posh Ambassadors. I promise you'll feel so much better after listening to the show. But before we get into the show, I want to give a closet shout out to Suzanne, who left a 5-star review titled, "Audio is simply amazing." She says, "I truly love your Facebook group. I actually returned when you mentioned the podcast. I fell back in love with your group." And she puts the heart eyes emoji. "I enjoy hearing people talk instead of reading between the lines or self-interpretation. Thank you for the mystery box show. I think it's totally awesome. I am getting mine prepared. This podcast really inspired me. My closet name is A Lil Forever, and I'll spell that out for you. It's ALILFOREVER. A Lil Forever. Stay phenomenal and have an amazing day every day." Thank you, Suzanne. Suzanne ends her listings with that phrase in every single one. She says, "Stay phenomenal and have an amazing day every day." And can I just say, yes, girl. I loved the episode with Emily and her mystery box sales. It was so good. If you haven't heard that episode, it's number 7. So go listen to it right after this one. All right, we have a lot to cover today, so let's dive right into the show, shall we? I am really excited about today's episode because we're talking about Posh Ambassadors and what the program is actually about. We'll be talking about the popular myths and how to become one. Okay, it's actually kind of funny because I've seen all over the place, especially on Instagram, that a lot of people are excited about being Posh Ambassadors, but at the same time, they don't really know what they're excited about. So that's what we're going to be clearing up today. Okay, but if this is the first time you're hearing me on the podcast, you probably have no idea who I am. So let me share a little bit about my Poshmark journey. I started actively selling on Poshmark in October of 2017, and I became an ambassador in January of 2018. I could have met all the criteria much sooner, but I wasn't quite clear about what the program was about. And from what I was seeing, everybody was so excited about joining this program that it got me hyped up too. I was like, well, yeah, I want all those perks. I want the benefits. I mean, I don't even know what they are, but it's got to be good if everybody is loving it, right? Like, isn't that what most of us think as we become Posh Ambassadors? So when I finally got my email, I was working really hard to get the community shares up, and we'll go over what it takes to be an ambassador in just a second. But I was really excited, and when I finally got into the program, I didn't notice a change. As a disclaimer, I hope that my message today comes across as positive because I'm not putting the program down whatsoever, but I do feel that it's really important for people who are working to be ambassadors to get the real scoops on what to really expect. Now, I went and printed out an article directly from Poshmark's website, and it's titled, "How to be a Posh Ambassador." So here's what it says. The Posh Ambassador program connects our diverse community from across the country based on a shared sense of style and fashion. A big part of your role, now listen to this, as a Posh Ambassador is ushering in, welcoming, and helping educate new users as they become part of our community. we look to Posh Ambassadors to help set the tone in the Poshmark community. Poshmark Ambassadors are expected to maintain an active closet, participate in the Poshmark community, provide great customer service, and be in good standing with our community guidelines and terms of service. Okay, now here are the benefits. That's the biggest question I hear people ask often. So what's the perks and benefits of being a Posh Ambassador? Well, right here, directly from Poshmark, is what it says. You get recommended to new Poshers, you receive an exclusive newsletter, and you unlock access to fun programs and opportunities. Now, I'm going to come back to that in just a bit because that's where most of the myths come from. So let me continue with the article. To become a Posh Ambassador, you must meet a criteria based off of a number of things, including engagement, rating, sales, and history of spreading Posh love. So to qualify, here are the criteria you must meet. 1 is community shares. Share at least 5,000 items from other Poshers' closets. Number 2 are the self-shares. So share your own items at least 5,000 times to the community. Number 3 are available listings. So you got to have at least 50 available listings in your closet. Number 4, you must have sold at least 15 items. Number 5, you must have an average rating of 4.5 stars. And number 6, you must have an average ship time of less than 3 days. So, now that we're on the same page about the Posh Ambassador program, let's go back to the benefits of being one. Okay, so myth number 1, and this is probably the most popular belief out there. Your sales will increase. This is a myth because Poshmark lists one of the benefits as being recommended to new Poshers. Now, this isn't exactly true about your sales increasing because Poshmark is referring new Poshers to everybody. So once you're a Posh Ambassador, you're just having random followers recommended to you, and they may not necessarily like the things that are in your closet. For example, a lot of the things that I sell in my closet are the LuLaRoe brand. Poshmark is recommending new Poshers to my closet who don't even like LuLaRoe. So why would my closet matter to them? So the thing here to remember is you want quality followers over a quantity number of followers. Just because you see somebody who has 100,000 followers on Poshmark doesn't mean that they're making big bucks in sales. So the better thing to do is to go out and find those quality followers by what I call target following. And here are 2 ways to target follow. The first way is to go into your shop tab and scroll down to new users. Then filter out the users who follow the brands you sell. Follow all of those new users because they've already expressed interest in what brands they like, and since they're new, they're excited that someone is following them. So they'll likely click on your closet to follow you back, and will see that you carry the brands that they like. Another way to do it is by searching for a brand you sell, and this can be in anyone's closet. So you'd find that item, and you follow everyone who has liked that item. By doing that, you're grabbing the attention of people who will likely check out your closet, which could end up in a sale. And this actually happened to me before, where the buyer bought a bundle of 5 items, and it was all because I target followed her. It was pretty cool. Okay, so the next myth is you receive insider tips with their exclusive newsletter. So this one is kind of interesting because one of the benefits you receive is an exclusive newsletter. And this really makes this sound like a big deal. Like, ooh, wow, what is this all about? It was crickets for me. Like, I wasn't receiving any emails. The only emails I received was to get my tickets to Posh Fest in advance before everyone else. And I got an email from the CEO when he announced that Poshmark paid out $1 billion to their sellers. Those are the only emails I got. So I was kind of thinking, like, am I being kept out of the loop here? So I emailed Posh support, and they're awesome. So I always trust what they say. And I said, hey, I just want to know if I'm on the Posh Ambassador email list. If not, how can I get on there? And their response was simple. It was, You just need to turn on notifications to receive emails. So I was like, oh, okay. So I checked my settings and the notifications were turned on. And so I was like, interesting. So really, there aren't really any insider tips and tricks that Posh Ambassadors are receiving in this exclusive newsletter. Okay, now the third myth is that Posh Ambassadors are recognized as successful sellers. And that could be far from the truth, my friends. Again, I'm just laying it out there. There's actually no recognition whatsoever. Like, Poshmark doesn't keep a list of all the Posh Ambassadors and congratulates them to anybody. Like, there's no application to fill out, and from what I understand from the suggested user program that was implemented before the ambassador program was released, people had to apply to be a suggested user, and there was more work involved with that. So the suggested user program made people feel like they were initiated into something important, whereas the ambassador program, you just got to meet the criteria and they send you an email and it's up to you whether or not you want to accept it. And there's kind of a debate about the ambassador program. People have said that once they became an ambassador, their sales dropped. And I'm kind of seeing a 50-50 take on this because other ambassadors have said that they haven't seen a change in sales at all. So I picked up the dictionary because I'm such a nerd like that. But here's the definition of an ambassador according to the dictionary. An ambassador is a person who acts as a representative or a promoter of an activity. And really what Poshmark explains on their blog is exactly that. There's nothing that guarantees or promises or even hints that you will get more sales or recognition. They just want you to usher in, welcome, and help educate new users as they become part of the community. So with me being a Posh Ambassador, I get hundreds of new followers every single day, but that means nothing because they're just randomly following me because Poshmark is recommending me to them. They'll never visit my closet again. So if you're not an ambassador, you're not missing out on anything. Really, you aren't. Having that ambassador title is not going to give you the results that you actually want, which I can confidently say is more sales. If you're on Poshmark to not have more sales, then let me know. But if having that title is something that you want, then go for it. More power to you, sister. Go and experience it. But it's up to you now. You get to decide whether or not it's important to you to be an ambassador. If it is, then great. Continue to work towards meeting those criteria. And if it's not important to you, then you're not missing out on anything. So I hope that cleared up what the Posh Ambassador program is. I would love to hear your thoughts about it. I mean, if you're on Instagram, tag me at Posh with Ashlyn and tell me what your thoughts are about this episode. Did it resonate with you? Do you have an opposing opinion about it? I want to hear it all. Thanks so much for tuning in this week. You can catch all of today's show notes at smartermomsonline.com/9, and I'll see you all right here next week. Same time, same place. Hey, many Poshmark sellers have trouble increasing their sales. They're told to share their listings often, and that consumes hours of their day. So I have a 4-part framework that helps sellers build a loyal customer base. And when they do this, their sales increase. It's the fastest way to grow your business. So if you're ready to start growing your business, then I invite you to join the Smarter Moms online community where you will build your very first framework so that you can start having your own loyal customer base using my proven formula. Just head over to smartermomsonline.com/SMO and we'll see you inside.